My wife and I are both 42 and in marriage counseling after our marriage basically went to shit after having kids, 6 and 4-year-old twins. A lot of issues and disagreements have come up in our marriage that have driven us apart, and I have been working through my resentment that going back for one more baby resulted in twins, including one which we are pretty sure has ADHD and odd and is a nightmare child. Our counselor asked me if I would have children if I had to do it all over again, and I said, honestly, no. I love my kids and would take a bullet for them, but if I had the chance to go back to 24 when I finished grad school and could do my life over again, I wouldn't choose fatherhood. It is not the fulfilling experience everyone claims, and while I love my children, the sacrifices are not worth it to me. I had a much happier life before having children and have gone from someone who loved life to someone who just makes it through the day, working a job. He hates to provide for the wife and kids while silently wishing this wasn't my life. My wife is furious and taking it the wrong way, and even told our 6-year-old, "Daddy wishes you were never born," which makes me livid. You don't tell the kid that. Yes, I wish I never had kids, but I do love them, would never hurt them or want to upset them. And I didn't say it in front of my kids, and I never ever will. I said it in marriage counseling, what should be a safe space to talk about feelings. It has become a huge fight. Our marriage is not going to be saved now, and I know she will try and use this against me in divorce court to try and get sole custody and take everything and lie to the kids who I do love and still want to be a dad to them. She is incapable of understanding that you can love your kids but also feel that parenthood was the best choice for you. AITA for saying it though? Edit. Okay, this blew the fuck up and there is no way I can reply to everyone's questions. But to address a couple, I have 3 kids, not 4. One child is 6, 2 are 4. English is not my first language and I forgot the comma, and even so that sentence would have been much clearer in my native language. When I say I resent having twins, I am not saying it is my wife's fault. But 3 children is more than we bargained for, and I need to pick up a lot overtime that I would not have had to pick up if we just had 2 kids, and that is what I resent, that and the child with ADHD, odd. My life is basically work and dealing with my kids. And do you know what odd is? This child always refuses to do what is asked, gets angry and throws a tantrum when asked to do something he doesn't want to do, hits and kicks others, deliberately annoys and hurts others, is extremely spiteful, screams and kicks me constantly. Always. All day. Every day. It's exhausting and it is hell. Yeah. I wouldn't have him again. Most people wouldn't if they had to raise him. Just because I wouldn't do this over again doesn't mean I'm not committed to being a good dad and being present in their lives. I just would not do it over again if I could redo my adult life. My first kid was not born at 24, I just said that because if I could do my whole post-university life differently, I would change some other things too, mainly career, and to be honest, after all this, I regret marrying my wife, which is why I said it that way. Regarding calling the ADHD, odd twin a nightmare, go Google what that means. It is very difficult to manage, and he has even been kicked out of 3 daycare places because they could not handle him, and my parents even refuse to babysit him. We never get a break from home and no one can handle time.
NTA, you said it in a counseling session where you are supposed to be able to talk through these things and listen to your partner without judgment. Your wife was majorly in the wrong for taking a comment out of the session and telling a child. If she didn't understand how you meant it, she should have discussed it further in the session.
WTF, your wife is trying to get to you by emotionally abusing and scarring the children. NTA also, see a lawyer about this. Where I live, not an English-speaking, common law jurisdiction, it is called parental alienation, and if proven in court, the custody goes to the parent who wasn't causing the parental alienation. Maybe it is the same for you.
Deleted.
This is so sad. I'm so sorry. You're NTA at all. A lot of parents feel exactly this way. You love your kids but you regret having them. That's pretty normal, and so is the guilt associated with that feeling. You're doing the right thing by going to marriage counseling, and I suggest going to individual counseling as well. Your wife should not have ever said that to your child. I doubt they'll ever forget hearing that.
NTA, your wife wouldn't have been either if she hadn't brought the child into this. What you said is obviously going to be upsetting for your wife to hear, and she had the right to feel whatever emotions about it, but she crossed a line big time. You are not an asshole for admitting something that many parents feel, and I just want to tell you that it can and usually does get better. Our middle kid is diagnosed with ADHD and odds, so I really, truly feel for you. Someone who hasn't dealt with a child like that has no idea. Maybe it's time to take all of that effort you're using on your marriage, and use it for yourself instead, like individual therapy or dedicating time to a hobby. Just chill, me time.
NTA, your wife is a serious asshole for saying that to a 6-year-old, truly an abusive and psycho thing to put in a child's head. As a 32-year-old in a committed relationship where we do not want kids, I sympathize with how you feel. My GF and I get all sorts of dirty looks and condescending remarks when we say that we do not want children. You sound committed to your children, but truly unhappy.
Throwing for this, I'm in the same boat. Having my son ruined my life. My husband left me when she was a baby because he hated it and I was left a single mum. He dodges child support and my career is ruined because I have little support and had go. Onto the mommy track, I don't get to do a thing for myself outside the house and my son has autism and is just a handful and a really difficult kid. I love him, but honestly, I'd Command+Z my son if I could. NTA for feeling it or saying it. Because like you say, you said it in marriage counseling, not to you kids. You would have been tar if you said it to the kids or where they could have heard you, but you didn't. Throw away for this, I love my 2 daughters so much, but if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't be a mum. It is still a big taboo to admit that having children isn't the most amazing thing in the world, but for a lot of us, the lows far outweigh the highs. I'd never ever tell my kids I feel this way, but I think this is something you should be able to be honest about with your partner in marriage counseling, and the fact she told your child this is disgusting. NTA. Deleted.